I'm not here to teach you what to think. I'm here to teach you how to think. Live theater. Going to a place that's indoors for live theater. The cost for live theater. Unless you're going to a place that's a university theater program, live theater can get really expensive. Forced impressions. If it's a high-class live theater, then you're going to have to go there dressed well, and so will your date. If it's something, let's say, put on by a high school auditorium or a university theater program, you don't have to worry so much about your wardrobe. So forced impressions are okay if you keep it amateur, but if you go professional, you'll have to worry about forced impressions. So let's assume for our sake of argument that we're doing something professional here. The cost will be astronomical. The forced impressions will be on. Focus interactive. You're not focusing on one another, you're focusing on watching a show, so you lose that star. Is there an easy out? Yes. If you're really not liking what's going on, you're not liking the way she's behaving, you can simply get up and walk out. Unless you're sitting in the middle of the row, and getting up in the middle of a show is going to be more difficult. So you would have to maybe wait until intermission. So there isn't as easy an out as you would like. We'll remove that star for that purpose. And sexability, for the same reasons that you're not working there in a live theater dome, you will not be able to necessarily find a place to be having sex there unless you know the place well enough. So the only thing that it gives you is, well, nothing. If it's a high-end theater, there's nothing. Whoa. You know what? I just remembered a date that I took a girl on. There was actually a live theater show at Place des Arts in Montreal. And I remember thinking I spent so much money and I had to dress good and she had to dress good. We didn't get a chance to talk or anything. The date didn't go bad. There was no reason to leave. But if we had to leave, then, I was sitting in the middle of the friggin' row and we didn't have sex. That date really did suck. 0 out of 5. Okay. Street theater. Again, like a street festival, but it's all about theater, so you're watching theater shows along the street. The cost is very, very good. Forced impressions, because it's on the street, you don't have to worry about forced impressions unless there's a really big crowd, but we'll assume that the crowd is manageable. Focused interactive, well, you'll probably be talking more because it's on the street, but it's not going to be as much focused interactive as you want for a first date. Easy out. Yeah, there should be enough of an easy out. If you just decide you don't really like what's going on, you can lose yourself in the crowd. There's usually very little security around a street theater. And sexability, there's no sexability there. So we're looking at 3 out of the 5. Going to a rock concert. Okay, rock concert. The cost. Probably more than I would spend. But for other people, because it may be a band they really like, they'd be willing to do that. Now, if you don't like rock, you can say rap concert, but we're looking at generally a big music concert of some popular type of music. So the cost would probably be very high for tickets. Forced impressions. Only if you're worried about, being seen as a fan of the band and whatnot, and a lot of the people who go to that usually are looking around. It may not be a factor for you, but it might be a factor for her. So we'll say that there are some type of forced impressions going to a rock concert. Focus interactive. Again, you're not focusing on one another. You're focusing on whoever's on stage. Easy out. It depends. With all the security in place, you may not have as easy an out as you would like. Sexability. Now, here's the thing about sexability. Even if you're not having sex in one of these big rock concert stadiums, the fact is that depending on what the music is about, it may very well be an incredible turn on. A lot of music may be sexually charged. And it might be enough that gets the person that you're with, or even yourself, into a really good and sexual mood. And, there are rock concerts where people will make out in the crowds. How far they can go is dependent on a lot of different factors. Will they have sex in the stadium? I know that it does happen. You have to look for a place to be. So there is the ability for sex there. You have to go looking for it. It's not something that's going to be obvious. So we'll give it though. We'll say, yes, there is a sexability issue for a rock concert. So the cost is no. Forced impressions is a maybe. Focus interactive is a no. Is there an easy out? Yes. And sexability will say yes. It comes out to a maximum of 3 out of 5 stars. Going to see a wrestling match. Now this is actually going to be about, a live wrestling match where you're sitting